Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday. So, if you guys saw my last video, my holiday house tour, you might have seen that I had some new furniture in my office. Finally, I got a new desk. So what I did the past couple days was reorganize, declutter, and kind of sort my makeup. This is my makeup that's on my desk, which is my go-to pretty much every single day type of makeup. Live, breathe, and die. If I don't have these next to me, the chances of me dying are very high. By the way, should we talk about what palette I'm wearing today? Really loving my makeup today. I think I'm gonna do a video with this palette tomorrow. This is the KKW Smokey Volume 1 palette. These two. I love those two colors. There's a taupey color like this in the Mario palette that I also really liked. A little sidetrack there. But now I'm gonna show you guys everything, all my makeup essentials now. Boop, ba-da, boo. First container that I have is all of my skin prep products. Typically when I come to my desk, I'm already moisturized, I already did my skincare. So the next step is my primers. I have different primers for different occasions. So the hydrating primers that I like to use are these. The Laura Mercier Protect Primer, which you've seen me use a lot. This one really makes my skin super glowy. And also the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer, which is a really just hydrating. I like to use this a lot under my eyes, forehead, and pretty much the rest of my face besides my nose and cheeks. And then my other primers that I like to have on hand are more this area. Large pores, oily, things like that. So I have the Lancome Blur and Go stick. This one is just kind of like, I feel like it's almost like a glue stick. Like you put it on, tap it, and it just fills the pores. Preps it for makeup. And then I have the Benefit Professional, which is just a really nice pore filler. And then also the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which, oh boy, the concealer section's probably gonna take a second. Okay, so I have 2 containers full of concealers. I feel like every day I do a different concealer cocktail, but you guys know me, you know I love my Bye Bye Under Eye. Look at this one's so old, it lasts forever. Bye Bye Under Eye, the Sephora Make No Mistake, if I want a little bit more coverage, dude, look at how much lash glue is on that. That is nasty. And then also I love the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. Is so nice for just like a lightweight coverage on bare skin. I think it looks really good. So I have this concealer in a bunch of different shades because I use it for different reasons. And then I have so many different concealers that I like to use for highlighting. I've got a few different shades of the Tarte Shape Tape, which I really like. Also, the MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer is really nice. The Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer is super full coverage. So I have a couple shades of this in here. I'm not sure which concealer it was, if it was the MAC one or the Huda Beauty one. I felt like I was getting little bumps here. I think it's called Milia. I also have the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I really like this to do highlighting and brightening on the under eyes as well. You can't go wrong with NARS Cannelle Concealer. And I also do have a couple of the ColourPop No Filter Concealers. I noticed they separate a lot. Sometimes I use this as an eyeshadow base. I haven't lately, but also to carve out the brows or just clean up the brow area, I'll use those. What else I have in here is my P. Louise eyeshadow base. This is the eyeshadow base that I've been using very often, pretty much every single day. When I ordered it, I see a lot of people talking about shipping. When I ordered it, I think it took probably like 2 weeks to get to me, but I really like this eyeshadow base. I keep this in with my concealers too. All right, next container, which is pretty fun. These are all my tools. I feel like I should have gum. Maybe some chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips.
Some lilies in here. Lilies is dangerous for me to have around. What do I keep in here? I got floss. These are my lash trimming scissors and also trimming my brows if I need to trim my brows. Tweezers, a couple Q-tips. I've got my Inglot Duraline. Oh, this stuff, man. This stuff is amazing. Inglot Duraline is what I use to rehydrate my liners. So for the longest time, I was using the Inglot number 77 gel liner. Black one, but lately I've been using the Dose of Colors Shady Liner, which I still use Duraline in there. I'm pretty sure all cream gel liners in a pot, they're gonna dry out eventually. So this stuff is a really great tool to use to have it be nice and smooth. I've got a sharpener in here with some glue stuck to it. Some lash glue. The Duo Lash Glue, the brush-on one with the green writing, is the only one that doesn't mess up my eyeballs these days. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I developed an allergy. I couldn't use like a bunch of different lash glues. So this one is a favorite. I ordered these off Amazon. I've got my lash curler, the Violet Voss glitter adhesive. Sometimes this comes in handy if I want to use like a pigment. I like that it's like on a lip gloss applicator. I feel like it makes it really easy to apply. I've also got my mascaras in here. So I've got the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, which the waterproof one, which is really great for holding a curl in the lashes. I've got my Too Faced Waterproof Better Than Sex Mascara, which is one of my favorite for curling. And then I also have the NARS Climax Mascara, which I feel like gives me really voluminous lower lashes. So I like to use that one on my lower lashes. Next one is my lip. This is like my go-to, gotta have it lip close by, okay? I don't have any like bright or bold lips in here. This is my go-to lip department. Obviously I have all of our Desi x Katy lipsticks. I knew my Hey Girl is in my purse from last night, so I don't have it in here. But I've got more Creamer Please Aftermath and No Shade. Boom, boom, boom. These are some of my favorite lipsticks. Honestly, No Shade I add to almost all my nude lip combinations right here to give a little bit extra plump. It's like part of my routine. I've also got a Mauve Story and 2 of my main, just in case. Of course, I have our 2 glosses, Over the Top and The Most. I do have some of the Dose products from the Disney collection that they did. I really loved the lip colors in that collection. The 2 that I have are Forever and 1928. So this is Forever and this is 1928. They're just really great neutral toned lip products. Also the glosses rockin' it, this one. Like if you are looking for something a little bit more neutral, cool toned gloss, you would love the Disney Dose collection. I've also got one of the Dose liquid lipsticks, Bear With Me, which is a really good like neutrally kind of pink liquid lipstick. I've got a couple KKW lipsticks in here too. One of which I'm wearing right now underneath the No Shade that I just put on. Classic Icon 2. I'm not crazy about the packaging. The packaging is a little bit bulky, especially with my shallow drawers. Okay.
Real estate's at a premium.
I need to save as much space as I can, so this packaging is a little bit bulky for me. So in this one, I have basically just my setting powder, and this is where I put my clean beauty blenders. I tried to put more setting powders in here, but they kind of, also take up a lot of space, so I have a couple other ones on top of my desk. But in here, I have my RCMA one. This is the translucent powder that I put into a smaller container because that one is the Parmesan cheese container just takes up way too much space. And I'm currently using the Laura Mercier translucent. I'm back on translucent. So that's everything I have on one side, and now I'm gonna shift over to the other side. This first drawer is for pretty much just my brow products. I have a few different pencils in here. Lately, I've been using just a brow pencil and brow powder, which is a big change for me from my pomade only days, but I feel like it does make them look a little bit more natural. So I've got the Precisely My Brow Pencil and the Foolproof Powder from Benefit. I use shade 3 for the Foolproof Powder and then the 4 pencils. In this Altoids, this is not actually Altoids in here, this is my L'Occitane dirty ass soap. I have this in here because I've been wanting to use it. I still haven't used it like for real yet. I don't know why, but this is the L'Oreal Unbelievabrow. Such a weird product. I talked about it for a second on Instagram stories, but I haven't actually used it. But look, it looks like a lip gloss applicator that you paint in your brow, which I thought was ridiculous. And then you brush it out with a spoolie. And it looked really good when I did it just really quickly, but I haven't done it like for reals yet. So I'm gonna have to try it again, but I have it in here for a time that I'm ready to try it out. I also have just my brow pencil. I keep it here instead of in my brush area because I always lose it. It's the tiniest little brush, so I keep it in here instead. All right, next section is like my eyeliners, pencils, smoky things. It's like the smoke drawer. So this is mainly pencils in here. I do have my melt stack because it didn't fit anywhere else. 3 different colors of melt shadows that I use very often, which is Blur, Dark Matter, which is the matte black, and then Assimilate, which is a cool toned eyeshadow color. But in here I have different eyeliners that I like to use. Bobbi Brown, Kat Von D. I also have a lot of the Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Sticks. I use these all the time. I used one today actually. Underneath this silver color, I applied the khaki pencil just to like really intensify the color. Oh, this color was really pretty. Smashbox Brude, dark chocolatey, rich brown for the waterline. And then some of my favorite black pencils for the waterline and for tight lining. Buxom Call Me. This is their waterproof eyeliner. And also the Makeup Forever Aqua XL in M10 is a color that I use, a pencil that I use a lot in the waterline and tight lining as well. Those are like my go-to black pencils for the waterline area. I think my favorite nude for the waterline is currently the Marc Jacobs Nudist pencil. It just goes on really, really nicely and it looks vibrant, really makes the eyes pop too. So if you're looking for a good nude, I do like this one. Lip liners. Ooh, ooh. First things first, Bite Beauty lip balm. I like to put this on like right when I sit down to start my makeup, put it on, and then when I'm done, you know, 7 years later, I'll take it off and put my lip product on, but it's just so hydrating. It's my favorite lip balm ever. We've got Wherever Walnut from Makeup Forever and Total Taupe. Love these two pencils. They are my dream team, if you will. I've also got MAC Oak in here. I've got MAC Burgundy. MAC Hover, my two Essence lip liners, Big Proposal and Lost in Love. And then I've also got a few red Makeup Forever ones in here as well because of the red lip I did the other day. This is not like a staple. Oh, I did just wear this one today and I really, really like it. This is the color I'm wearing right now, lip liner. This is the Classic Icon liner with the Classic Icon 2 lipstick. Next section is foundation section. I'm always changing stuff out in here. I feel like a couple weeks ago I was using the e.l.f. foundation a lot, but these are some of the ones that I'm using very often as of right now. So you already know I've got the Armani Luminous Silk in a couple different shades here. It's always a good go-to. I've got the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. Obviously one of my go-tos. Becca Skin Love, which I've used a couple times. I haven't used it super regularly, but I keep it in here. I feel like this has been like my foundation of the year. The Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Every time I put this on, I'm just like, damn, that looks good. And also the YSL All Hours Foundation. A couple different shades of that one in here. I really like this. This stuff looked really, really good. So I keep that one in here. I do have this department. This is like a new department that I just created yesterday. This is gonna be like my go-to light foundations. So right now I just have two different ones in here. One of them is the YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow. Did I say it?
Very French.
Did I say it? I actually wore this out to dinner last night and I felt like I was wearing a foundation because I wore this all over my face, which is like, you know, light to medium coverage. And then I did my concealer, which was a little bit more coverage. And that's like, you know, where I want more coverage anyway. And I felt like I had, you know, a major full face on, but it didn't feel like it, you know what I mean? And then I also have the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. This is definitely the lightest coverage that I have. Anything lighter than this, I'm like, I'm just gonna wear a concealer. And then I have one lone pair of lashes, my Baddie B. These are my Instaho lashes that have already been worn several times, but they're just here ready for the picking, you know?
Getting ready to take them to market.
And that's everything that I have in my drawers. So now I'm gonna show you stuff that I have on top of the desk, which is plentiful. So this first one, this container is pretty much filled with my go-to blushes and some highlighters I think are in here as well. One that I've been using super often lately is this one from Patrick Starr. This is like his second MAC collection. This is Take Me Home Blush. I love using these two. This is the color that I'm wearing today. Also, this NARS one is like so amazing. Loves Me Not. This is a pale, cool pink, like a dusty pink color. You guys know I love the Wet n Wild blushes, especially the Don't Flutter Yourself. This little, is it the bird collection? I don't remember what collection it is. It was like hummingbirds or something. Their blushes are really, really nice. They have a nice glow to them. You know, I've got my Laura Geller blushes. My favorite one though is Sunswept. So Sunswept is the color that I keep up here. Also have a lot of the Bare Minerals blushes. These are matte ones. Beige for Days. This one I use sometimes as a contour color, but also if I want to like neutralize my blush a little bit, sometimes I'll throw this on top if it's like I go in a little too far. I've got Pretty in Pink here. It's a cute pink tone, and also that peach though. These are nice matte blushes. If you like peach tone blushes, I think I've talked about these ones before. The L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted. They are scented, very similar to like the Too Faced peach collection type blushes. But I really do like these two particular colors. Bashful, which is a really light, softer peach, and then also the deeper one, which is Charming. Sometimes I mix those two together, but they're really pretty. This one's, look at that. I've also been trying out the Flesh blushes. Hug, which is really pretty peach color, and Pinch, which is a cute pink tone, but I also really like their blushes. Yeah, so those are like some of my go-to blushes. You know, of course, I've got my Fuego highlight in here, and then this is a Morphe blush trio, kind of like a warmer peach tone blush trio, but I like, you know, I gotta have my options. It's a lot of options. In my other area, I have these are the Fenty matchsticks, which I went in on using these over the summer after I kind of learned how to use them. Rum and Yacht Life, these two mixed together are an absolute dream. Gorgeous, especially if you just tap them on the cheeks. Tap it on a brush and then stipple it onto the cheeks. It's so pretty. The next container that I have is this one, and this one is more highlights, bronzers, and face powders, different types of face powders. I also have my brush cleanser that I'm still using, even though I don't like the smell of it and how it gets in my soul. I've got my Milani baked bronzers in here. I do have another translucent powder, the Peach Perfect Too Faced one to set under the eyes. This one's much more matte. This isn't like an everyday one for me. I do use it regularly, so I keep it close by, but not in the drawer, okay? I've got some Laura Geller, the Laura Geller highlights, oldies but goodies. My Essence Sunlighter, because I don't have the highlighter. I've got some Chasing the Sun in here. This is like my more bronzy highlight. And also the LC Cosmetics. Luna is such a pretty rose gold highlight. If you're looking for like a rose gold one, these ones are really, really nice too. This is like one of my favorite touch-up powders of all time, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I don't know, I feel like you just can't see it on your face. So I really like this one. It's convenient. I like how slim it is. You know, I've got my Monica Dar powders in here. So I use C2, which is like super bright. Look at that, it looks like white. But I also have C3, which I've been using more often lately. Just a little MAC Studio Fix powder. I can't believe there was a time that I used to wear this as foundation. Like just, I can't imagine wearing a full face of powder foundation anymore. This one I actually did use today on top of my blush to tone it down a little bit. NC35, this is just a good powder to have, super full coverage powder. The Laura Mercier Matte Bronzing Powder. This one's really nice, a very subtle, smooth bronzer. This one, which I haven't tried yet, which I've been meaning to, the BH Cosmetics Brilliance Bronzer. I just thought the color was really pretty, so I have it in here to try out. And then this is a go-to bronzer of mine, the MAC, can I call it Banana Bronze? Mm-hmm. Thank you. This one.
The Nordstrom one.
The Nordstrom one. I do have this on my desk as well. I haven't taken it out of the package yet because I'm gonna film a Get Ready With Me tomorrow when I get ready for her party. But this is the Bomb Ass Brows collection. So once I film that video, it will be going in my desk. But right now it's sitting on my desk, so we just sit there and we talk to each other. I put her right here so that way it looks like she's looking at me. Okay, so the last section that I have to share with you guys, this is like all my eyeshadow palettes. Just hit me in the face. All right, so in here I do have a couple more face products, really just 3 larger palettes that wouldn't fit in the other ones. This one I don't really use, but I have out here in case I want to use it. The one that I do use fairly often is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked. Uh-oh, we're losing battery. We're losing battery. This powder, I feel like it has a good glowy bronze powder. It has a good highlighting powder. It has good just like all over face powders and blushes. So this one I use pretty regularly, so I like to have this one close by. And then if I ever decide I want to have like a more bronzy, like gold highlight, kind of like the Essence Sunlighter, I have my Marc Jacobs Guilty highlight, which is really nice. Also pretty inner corner. You know, I actually haven't dipped into my Life palette in a long time, but this is my Life palette that I made with some of my favorite single shadows that I like to keep around because I still dip into it sometimes, but this hasn't been like my daily. This is like one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, especially for cool toned. This is the Milani Soft and Sultry palette. Definitely recommend this one, especially the matte shades. I can't really speak much on the shimmer shades because I haven't used them that much, but I've dipped in here many times for some of the matte shades. So I really like this palette. The next palette that I just put in here a few days ago, this is the KKW Beauty Eyeshadow Palette Smokey Volume 1. I'm feeling this palette, you guys. I think I'm gonna wear it again tomorrow, so that's that. This is no surprise here. I have all my Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. These are my favorite ones. I love these. They're just really great matte eyeshadows. I do have Snow Angels in here, which I haven't worn yet. I thought about it today. Like I was thinking about doing a bright blue color, but I didn't know like what direction I was going in for anything for the day, so I didn't feel ready for that. But Blushing Berries, I use this one a lot. Marvelous Mauves is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes. Baked Browns and the Sassy Siennas. These are just really great matte eyeshadow palettes, so these are out at all times. I also have out the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette. I really like this palette. I've worn it once. I did a look with this half of the palette, and now I'm like, okay, next is gonna be with like the more blue undertone side of the palette. But I like the shades in here, I like the formulas, and I wanna use it, so I have it out here. You know, of course, I have my Friendcation palette in here. This is definitely a go-to for me. You guys already know that. My dose of colors. Another palette I have in here is the Becky G ColourPop eyeshadow palette. Oh, I wore it to the P-Lo concert. This one. Beep, beep. And I wore this color in here, which looked really cool all over the eyes. So I wore this one, and then this in the crease. I like this palette. I like the colors in here, and I was like, let me just leave this in here for future usage. Next palette I have is the Berries and Cream palette from Dominique Cosmetics. I used this one the other day. I got a really pretty look out of it. I love this, what is it, Blueberry Muffin? Blueberry Muffin color. And then the last palette that I have out is my Natasha Denona Gold palette. This is one that I was using pretty regularly, but I also just really like the mattes in here. So I like to have the mattes easily accessible. Also, I mean, the shimmers in here are super cool too, but it's another one I like to have out. All right, you guys, so that wraps up all of my makeup essentials. These are things that I need to have with me. So I just want to share with you guys the things that I keep close to me at all times. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.
Greatest muffin flavor of all time, what is it?
Lemon poppy seed.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Action!
Action!
You ready for some action?
My boo bitches. Shirt. What does that even mean? The sandy seashells by the seashore. Sandy seashells by the seashore. Colors, I like... Oh, the label's still on here. This is what they're called, in case you guys are wondering. That worked. All right. My L'Appartement. No, that doesn't work, does it?
No, that's horrible.
That's really bad.